For the longest time, the first hours of my day started with one mistake. Before my mornings even began, I was already online. My focus was fractured before the sun was even up. So for 1 week, I tried to stay completely offline for the first 2 hours of my day. I tested 7 analog habits to reclaim my focus, but by day 3, I realized I was making a massive mistake. Do you see it yet? No? Well, here's what truly changed after 1 week of mindful mornings. One of my goals for this year is to dramatically reduce my screen time. Like many of us, I've been trying this for years. But the tech companies always won. Their algorithms were simply too good at grabbing my attention. What I needed wasn't willpower, it was rhythm. The problem is, I hate morning routines. Meticulous habits stress me out, and my biggest fear was becoming a slave to yet another schedule. So I researched the data and landed on 7 small analog habits even I could do. Step 1. Get analog. I removed every digital device from my bedroom. Before going to sleep, I put my phone and iPad into a drawer in my living room and switched them to airplane mode. I'm only allowed to open that drawer 2 hours after waking up. When I renovated my bedroom recently, I switched to a simple analog alarm clock, so I no longer need my phone to wake up. Step 2. A 10-minute walk. Forward ambulation has an activating effect on the nervous system. It reduces activity in the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for anxiety and fear. Doing this outdoors makes us alert and focused. Step 3. Mindful breakfast. I wanted to bring more attention to my mornings than the usual cereal and milk routine. So for 7 days, I prepared overnight oats each evening, added fresh fruit in the morning, and simply paid attention. Step 4. Tea. I added a small tea ritual to my mornings, an island of warmth. I prepared green tea using a pour-over method with loose Japanese sencha. Celebrating the sound of hot water pouring, the smell of the tea leaves, and the warmth and taste of the finished drink brought an unexpected amount of joy. Drinking it slowly as the daylight grows brighter is a wonderful experience. At this point, the routine already felt a bit heavy. But then there were Step 5, reading a book during breakfast to replace mindless scrolling, Step 6, journaling, and Step 7, 5 minutes of meditation added last to see if it would sharpen my focus. Those were the 7 habits I chose. Do you see the mistake now? Still no? Well, here's how the week actually went. On day 1, I started with good energy. I got up at 7:30 a.m., excited to put my plan into action. I left my devices in the drawer and followed my new morning routine. Honestly, staying away from digital noise from the very first morning felt like a relief. Yes, I had the urge to grab my phone or read the news from time to time, but the friction of opening the drawer and breaking the seal kept me on track. By the end of that first morning, I noticed a problem. 2 hours weren't enough to complete all 7 habits. Even more so on day 2. I tried again. Failed again. And another issue appeared. While the first 2 hours were incredibly peaceful, turning on my phone at 9:30 pulled me straight back in. Before I noticed, I'd spent 30 minutes on my phone. 30 minutes I had planned to use for deep, focused work. By day 3, frustration set in. My screen time was just as high as before the experiment. The routine felt heavy, and instead of feeling more focused, I felt more stressed. That's when I realized something important. I didn't just need a rule for disconnecting. I needed a ritual for returning, an intentional bridge into the chaos. On day 4, things began to change. The routine felt lighter, more natural. Being without media in the morning started to feel like a vacation every single day. From that point on, at exactly 9:30 am, I would turn on my phone and do just two things. First, check and reply to messages, no social media. Second, quickly scan my news outlet of choice to confirm the world was still intact and World War III hadn't started. After 5 minutes, the phone went back into the drawer. Everything else was postponed until later. On day 5, something odd happened. My focus improved. Even more surprising, staying analog in the morning made it easier to stay away from my devices throughout the day. Reading a book in the evening instead of watching Netflix suddenly felt effortless. On day 6, the screen time on my phone dropped to 1 hour and 2 minutes. It worked. My original intention, using the morning as a starting point to regain control over my attention, worked. But I had made one major mistake. I realized it on day 7. Staying analog wasn't the problem. 7 habits were. What stressed me wasn't the absence of dopamine. It was the pressure to do too much. My focus didn't come from adding more. It came from choosing less. So I reduced my morning habits from 7 to 3. Back to simplicity. I returned to easy cereal. I moved the walk to after lunch when I needed it more. I kept reading and journaling. Occasionally, I would enjoy tea or meditate, but only when it felt right. It's been 2 weeks since the experiment ended, and I still stay offline for the first 2 hours of my day. My mornings have become a sacred island, a calm place to begin. Tuning out the noise has become easier. My focus at work has improved, and I'm excited to reduce my screen time even further throughout the rest of the day. If you're among the last 20% still watching, according to my stats, let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this. See you next time.